That's the intro?
I'm your host, your ghost host with the most, Dr.
I love big titties.
Hey now, everybody. The show still exists. We're still here after much coaxing and trying to get Christian to agree to come back on one more time. We're finally back. Could be the last episode. We never know these days. But Christian, how's it going, man?
I see that you're wearing a Halloween shirt and I'm wearing a Friday the 13th shirt.
It's kind of fitting, right?
Is that a part 1 shirt?
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, just a class. Is that one of those Def Studio shirts? Does it say on the
This is
or Paul Bearer press? I mean,
it's on the arm.
Paul Bearer,
Red Death Studios, brother.
Red Death. Paul Bearer. I'm confused. Yeah, I like their shirts. They're like heavy shirts.
Yeah.
They're good stuff.
I like this material. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in this, but like if sometimes certain shirt material makes me feel like warm. Like if it's too soft, it makes my skin feel like warm, and I don't like it.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. Well, I've gotten used to comfort colors. Like that's like becoming real popular now. Those are they're. It's almost like it almost feels like wool. It's a super heavy duty shirt, but it's also very very soft. The collars don't stretch like my collars stretch out on these regular shirts, and I like them a little loose, but like sometimes my collars get to where like you can see my fucking titties.
Do you ever do? Because I do this sometimes. Like sometimes I'll sit my hands like this, like and
no, I don't usually do that. Like, but those comfort colors, man, like a lot of places, I'm not taking credit for it, but I remember telling Gutter Garbs, I was like, you got to get comfort colors. And now they do it. Everybody's doing it. And you pay a couple more bucks. Sorry. I'm getting a call from William Hooper. I'll call him back later, but
I don't know who that is.
That's Toby Hooper's kid. That's an exclusive. I haven't said anything to anybody.
Oh yeah. Oh
yet,
no.
but
Yeah. I got you.
yeah. I'll have to call him back. No, but now everybody sells those shirts, and you pay a couple extra bucks, but I'll tell everybody it's worth it. They don't stretch. The material stays so fresh, and the collars keep their shape. That's such good stuff. I love the comfort colors.
Did you get this from Spirit yet?
No, I didn't see that yet. I used to grab every freaking cup, and then I kind of took a break, but I like that one. I would get that one if I saw it.
Yeah.
I got this. I got this ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw that the other day at mine. I'm gonna buy that too. But here's the thing, dude.
Well, it's like a decoration. You don't drink out. I mean, it's just a decoration, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink out of it. Although I do have the Scarface Halloween 2 mug, and I do love drinking out of that thing. But yeah, no, I've gotten to a point where I'm like almost completely out of room in my cupboards for cups, dude. And it's like it's a bunch of Spirit cups. Like it's pretty much all Spirit cups. But I mean, dude, they're like what? $2.99, $3.99?
And it's fun, it's cheap. It's like if you're gonna splurge at Spirit, getting cups ain't gonna, it's not gonna break the bank. So
no, not at
but
all.
I'm the same way, man. I'm a mug fiend, like to a fault. Like I just love mugs. I buy way too many fucking mugs, and we have a ton. I got a ton in the house. Cindy gets mad. She always like, you don't need any more. You don't need any more. Are you gonna use it? But now they got all these, like you go to TJ Maxx, they got these ridiculous ass Jason mugs, and I can't help but get them. They'll be like fluorescent pink with like a bunch of masks on them. I'm like, this is so ugly. I gotta have it, you know. So I buy
Yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, man, it's the cups. It's the cups for me too. Like when I go to Spirit, especially if I don't have like a ton of spending money on any given day when I go, because my kid wants to go literally all the time. So we'll go there just for him to look around like once a week. And if it's like getting close to payday, I'm like, I'm just gonna get a couple cups and some socks. It's always like this socks on the impulse, dude.
No,
I got the
I feel you. I
I got the
wasn't like
Jeepers
that 5 years
Creepers
ago, but
ones. Yeah. I don't
Are you
know.
got there's Jeepers Creepers socks? What's on them?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna grab them because it's right. My dresser is right over here, and I know I just recently washed them.
Is
I
that a
got
big
these.
ass?
I got these last year, by the way, buddy. Here they are. I'll show them to you. The only problem is they had them in one size, and it's just like an adult size. But I got big ass feet, dude. I wear a size 13, so they're pretty tight on my legs, which I'm always like, I don't want circulation cut off, but got that. Yeah,
Oh
dude.
man.
They're pretty sick though. They're pretty sick, but that's what they always get me with that shit at the impulse. Like they always get me with the cups and the socks and the little trinkets. It's like, oh, it's only $4, whatever, and then you end up with like 6 of them, and you're like, oh, damn.
And you got nowhere to put them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel you, dude.
the magnets, but my fridge and my freezer door are like covered at this point. Like I don't even think I have room. I got when my kids started school, when we went to open house, they gave us magnets for our fridge with like the numbers for the school and stuff. And when I got home, I was like, where the fuck am I going to put this on the fridge? I don't have any more space. So yeah, but I've seen your fridge too. I know you got more than me. You got a shitload.
Yeah, and you know, Sydney she always moves stuff around, but she actually bought me a like you remember it's kind of like those ribbons. Usually they're pink and they're like for breast cancer, and they say
Yeah,
like save the Yitties or whatever kind of stupid slogan. What's that stupid? I mean, of course I'm for breast cancer awareness, but they have like like save like something Halloween. It's like in that thing, and she threw
yeah,
it on the back of my truck and it was a magnet. I was like, "That's not gonna fly off." She goes, "It shouldn't." And I mean, I go 80 on the interstate, and that sucker's still on the back of my truck. So if people want to put magnets on the back of their vehicles, I guess you can. At least
yeah,
on a truck, it's like a flat back. So you know,
yeah.
I got stuff like that.
The only thing I ever worried about with magnets was like, nah, what if someone saw it and they think it's cool and they take it when you're parked somewhere? But then the flip side of that is you have a bumper stickers, you can't get those damn things off, dude. So it's just kind of like pick your poison there. But no, I know exactly
Yeah.
which ones you're talking about. My buddy Dave got one from Spirit like 10 years ago, bro. It's like orange and black. And it's like support Halloween or something like that. And he had it on the back of his S10. Or not his S10, his Ranger. Yeah, he had a green Ford Ranger. And he had that thing on there for so many years, it was just faded entirely. But he
Do
kept
they
that
even
bad boy
make
on.
Rangers anymore? Ford
Dude, I don't
Rangers?
know. I don't know, but we used to make jokes and we'd call it a Power Ranger. And we were trying to get to the point where we saw every Power Ranger color in a Ford Ranger. And the only one I never saw was pink. I did
Pink.
see a yellow Ford Ranger, but we never saw a pink one.
I almost wish I don't even know if they make trucks that size anymore, like those little small body trucks. Like that's all I need. I just wanted a bed. I don't tow anything. If they made trucks that size still, I would have got them. But man, I like them. I like them a
He
lot.
he ran that thing into the ground, buddy. And
Oh
that
yeah,
was
I bet he
that
did.
was that was a manual. And
Oh,
he kept trying to get me to learn how to do it, and I just couldn't. I'd stall it out every time. I'm like, dude, I'm not a manual guy.
there is no benefit to manual. Nobody can give me an actual good reason. I guarantee you somebody in the chat is going to say, well, Christian, you could actually save money on gas. I was like,
Yep.
but my question is this, is it really worth it if driving becomes a full on fucking job? Like, you can't relax. Like imagine having to drive like 5 hours in a manual vehicle. Like me and my dad are going to see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest on Tuesday next week, and we got to go to Biloxi. Like, imagine if I had to drive and it was a fucking manual vehicle. That'd be miserable. Like
Yeah.
miserable. It'd be fun going to Walmart and being like, "Look at me," and hitting that shift. But oh, dude, like anybody that drives a manual, like you'll never convince me.
The
Ever.
craziest thing too is back then when he was driving that, Christian, that was when we both, he still does, I don't obviously, but we both still smoked cigarettes. And so like I'm like, how in the fuck you gonna have, like, you're trying to smoke while driving while you also got to keep shifting. I'm like, this is just like, this is not worth it. Like it's just, it was never worth it to me. I thought it would. Now I know some guys are like, oh, it's more masculine. I'm like, I don't know how. You know, like I really don't. But hey, more power to him. Like if you know how to do it, that's awesome. I can't do it.
Show me. I need to see if anybody. I'd have to see your wife if you tell me that driving a stick shift is that much better. I'll be the judge of that. Let me see what you're fucking every night. Then I might change my mind. You know.
Oh yeah, all right. So that's right. DMs are open, guys. Send us the pictures. We'll the next
send
episode.
Us a picture of your wife and we'll react.
Yeah, we're gonna rate your wives. Yeah. So, dude, there's been a lot going on. You know, obviously, I talked to Christian about this before. I know he's talked about it on his socials and whatnot. But a lot of stuff moving parts recently. Obviously, Christian, you know, had a family member pass away, his grandma, which I know you've talked about publicly. That's the only reason I'm saying anything about it.
Yeah, you're fine.
And so, you know, obviously that sucks. And, you know, I had remained checking in on Christian and making sure things were cool and stuff, and wasn't going to be like, hey, we need to record, which is funny enough. He was the one that was actually like, well, dude, let's set down a date and do it. And I'm like, all right, shit. And then, as you guys know, since the last time we recorded an episode, I probably have like 25 or probably about 3,000 more subscribers than I did the last time. So a lot of you guys that are listening to this is probably your first time ever listening to Uneeda. And you're probably like, what the fuck? They're not talking about Halloween. Don't worry. We always end up talking about Halloween at some point, and we're actually about to for a second because I thought something today was funny. But so yeah, this is Uneeda. This is me and Christian. We used to do this once a week. Then Christian got big time, and he was like, "Dude, I don't fuck with you anymore." And I was like, "It's cool. We'll do it once a month." And
right.
And now we try to stay once a month at least, sometimes twice a month with a live. But you know, shit is what it is. We both work full-time jobs and got shit going on. So this show, if you're new to it, you're in for a treat because it does not ever stay on the rails. I would actually make the argument the thing that makes this show as cool as it is the fact that it isn't on the rails. But Christian, the thing about Halloween I wanted to talk about really quick. I thought it was super hilarious that today we both uploaded a video about Halloween 4. My video was about the worst Blu-ray release I think we've ever gotten in the Halloween franchise. And I actually was going to text you about it last night and be like, hey, do you agree that this is the worst release we've gotten? But I didn't want to tip my hand that I was doing that. I was like, I'll just let him see when I upload the video and maybe he'll check it out. And then I saw that you did a Halloween 4 video and I was like, what the fuck? People are going to think like, did they coordinate this? Do you agree though that is the worst Blu-ray
of the Halloween franchise?
Yeah. Now I did give a shout out to the Universal. Well, the Universal from 2011 is actually a pretty good transfer. Like all things considered, it's just the controversy with Akkad's name. That's why that's a black sheep. And then the Echo Bridge H2O is just a bad transfer because it's not even the right aspect ratio. Right. So I did shout those two out. But I think the fact that the audio is off for more than half of the movie in Halloween 4 and you get a terrible sound effects mix, like I just think it's bad. I think it's a really bad transfer.
Well, I mean, if that doesn't make it bad, I don't know what would.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, those Echo Bridges are pretty shitty.
Except Resurrection. It's actually kind of solid.
Yeah. I can't say I've ever watched my Echo Bridge Resurrection.
But I mean, like, if you had to pick, just based off of, I mean, you're more the physical media guy than I am, obviously. So, like, is there a Blu-ray release in the Halloween franchise that stands out to you that you're like, wow, I was really underwhelmed by that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to really think about it. I don't know. I don't know that I would say it's bad. I think it's a it's important. I remember I did a video about this one maybe like a year ago, and it's so funny. I'm always exactly the opposite of what I think people are going to say about it. I did a video about the 2007 Blu-ray where they kind of like fucked with the night stuff. I think I can't remember.
They took
In the
out a lot of the
video
blues.
they took
It's
out the
in
blue.
the
Okay, and I remember I did a video about that, and I was for sure everybody was going to say, yeah, fuck that release. But everybody has a soft spot for that. So I wanted to say that, but it's so funny because like I think time has been good to stuff like that. And
well,
people look back
also
on it fondly, but I
that
hated it when it came
then
out.
I still don't like it. And I think people look fondly on that one because it's the first Blu-ray release of any Halloween movie. So like it's almost like nostalgic and historical in a way.
Right.
But I actually did a video last week on the worst items in my Halloween collection, and that made the list. And believe it or not, one of the top comments on that video was someone going like, "Oh God, yeah, I remember the blue hue thing. It pissed me off so much." And it got like 15 likes, that person's comment did. So like there are a lot of people that are like, "Yeah, dude, it really pisses me off that they took the blue out of that." But there's also a lot of people that are like, "That's a nitpick. Like, who really cares?" And I'm like, well, that's just how I always saw Halloween, up to that point. There was a lot of blue in the night scenes. And then I watched this Blu-ray, which is supposed to be the best version of the movie I've seen up to this point.
And
I'm
it's
like,
called a Blu-ray.
yeah. And it's a gray ray, a white ray.
Well,
I don't know.
it's a piece of history now because, I think in the 4K, they actually kept that version. Like you can still watch that. Which
Yep.
look, man. I mean, like I look back on the 2000s era of stuff so fondly now, whether it be the movies that were coming out or stuff like that, because that was technically the last like real Anchor Bay. No, it wasn't. It was really the 2012 one, but
Yep.
that was I remember getting that. I think I got it maybe in like 09. I didn't get it right when it came out, but I remember watching that and being like, God, this looks different.
Yeah.
What? So I don't know. Like I said, I kind of wanted to say that, but no, it's probably one of them. If Halloween 4 is the audio is off on it. I mean, you can't really get.
Dude,
You can't really.
it's like a second behind the lips moving. It get like at the 46-minute mark.
Yeah.
The sync is totally off. And it's
I
just
remember
ugh.
Scream Factory had a problem with that right when that box set came out too. But
That's what I'm talking about. It's that box set's Blu-ray that I said was the worst we got because
well, they did replacement discs for that.
they did, but I didn't request one. And actually somebody commented and I almost sent you a screenshot and they were like, "Hey, you devalued your set by not getting that replacement disc."
Right.
So like, but do you kind of thing. Like they weren't being hateful, but they were saying, and I replied and I was like, well, that's fine by me because I'm never going to sell it. And then somebody else replied to us both and was actually like, no, it's actually probably worth more now because this is an original run with the messed up audio syncing issue. So like, I don't really know.
Now I wonder because I believe me, I'm not taking credit. Like I started this. I'm sure there are people that covered this stuff long before me, but I know I've done videos on all that stuff. Like maybe 2-3 years, like over the last 2 or 3 years, I did a lot of videos on all that stuff too. And I remember covering the thinner set, like the retail store version, where they just took out the special features in the uncut version of Part 6. And I'm trying to think now. I wonder if that release has the audio fucked up on Part 4. I'd have to go grab it. I'm looking at it. I think it's just called the 10 disc set. Whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. It's the one they sold in Best Buy and Walmart. Now I wonder if my Part 4 on that has fucked up audio.
It's really quick to find out. Just fast forward to like the 45-minute mark, and within like 30 seconds, you'll see it start.
Yeah. But no, man, I love stuff about like that. Like I love doing videos about all those old releases and stuff, whether it be Halloween or whatever. I mean, I have uncovered I say uncovered. People make fun of me a little bit, I think, but I think they know I'm not a bullshitter. Like I legitimately love Friday the 13th home video. And I think I have covered almost everything, especially like stuff that I own and quirky stuff. And I love it, man. I genuinely love every aspect of it, whether it be those old DVDs, the wacky art that they have, the television series. I bought a copy of Friday that came out where the slipcover is it's the original Friday, but the slipcover is, I'm looking at it right now. It's fucking a big ass Jason, and then it's just the first movie. It's Jason with a hockey mask holding a machete. And it's like, what were they thinking? Like, you'd almost wonder, oh, it's the remake. And no, it's just the original movie on Blu-ray. It's just, I am obsessed with all that kind of history with physical media for horror stuff. It's just, I'm
Yeah.
fascinated by it.
I haven't really gotten into the minutia. Like, I'm specifically, a lot of it is more like, this is my favorite. This is the best edition, I think. I got a video. It's already up on Patreon. It'll come out this weekend, depending on, what day I drop it. But on what I think is the best version of Rob Zombie's Halloween to own, because I did that for John Carpenter's Halloween, where I said, personally, my favorite edition is the 35th anniversary Blu-ray. Like, I loved that thing. I loved the media book. I really liked that edition. That master was overseen by Dean Cundy. It brought back the blues and everything like that. Like, I love that edition. Now, I did say in the video, if you're going for optimal presentation, yes, the 4K is the one, but I'm kind of weird about that stuff. And like, it goes a long way for me if like you do something really cool with like the case or the disc, or there's a book in there, like that kind of stuff makes releases stand out to me a little bit more. And like, I love some of the older Texas Chainsaw Massacre physical releases, like the gold 10 of the original. I fucking love that. The chainsaw one, I love that too. Like, so when you do cool stuff like that,
the plastic one, or are you talking about a different?
Yeah. Right?
No,
Oh yeah,
that's a joke.
the inside joke. Yes, yeah, I know. It didn't go over my head. Sorry, I was getting a little ahead of myself. And then like, I have a Transformers DVD that is Megatron, and you like can transform him out and then pop the discs out of the back. So like, I don't know, that stuff's kind of cool to me. Like, that's my favorite edition of John Carpenter's Halloween. But somebody had asked me like, hey, you should do this for more in the franchise, like what you think the best is of each version. And I was like, okay, some of them I probably won't make videos on because they're pretty obvious. Like, for some of these, the 4K is the only way to go, because there are certain movies in the Halloween franchise, like Halloween 4, for example, or 5, that they got the Divimax stuff and whatnot, but like, they never really got anniversary editions, aside from the 10s, but those are DVDs. So
I actually, it's so funny you say that, because about Halloween 5, just because you said it, I actually was filming something a little bit before we got recording on that, and
on the
I
10?
always look. No, just like a video about Halloween 5, and I always look forward to doing anything video related to that movie, because for some reason it's a different kind of hatred for 5 than Resurrection. It's almost like they're more let down that 5 was bad and they're angry about it, rather than they're embarrassed about Resurrection. Like, I think people they're angry that 5, they don't feel like it should be bad by that point. And it's they're
Well,
mad.
it's not, we've been over this on the podcast. If you don't like Halloween 5, you're fucking wrong. I mean, that's one of my iconic sound bites from the pod. I mean, but I see what you mean, and I agree. I think people were really like, almost like offended. Like, they loved 4 so much, and then 5 was what it was, and they were like, this is bullshit. But dude, I did a video on that last month, talking about like, did you really want this, basically? And like, the whole video, the point of it was like, did you really want Jamie to be the killer in 5? Like, do you know how ludicrous that would look? Like, I get at the time people were like, oh, that's a really cool ending. But like, dude, we can look back now 35 years later and be like, I think they made the right decision not making Jamie an evil, like 10-year-old. Like, that would have been stupid.
I mean, I can't see it. Yeah. There's just, I don't know how they would have pulled that off. No idea how they would have done that. It's a great ending, though.
Yeah. And I said in the video, if they were going to do it, they would have to do a time jump. Like, if you were going to do that, you would have had to like pick up when Jamie is an adult. I just don't think he could have sold this little kid, I don't know, doing that. That's wild. But yeah, so I did think that was interesting. Like, I was like, oh, dude, we both talked about Halloween 4 today. What was your consensus on your video? I haven't watched it yet about if it's a good sequel or not. I'm gonna
Oh,
assume you probably said yeah.
I talk about yeah. I mean, I I love Halloween 4. I don't know where you started with this. It's overrated. It's like ludicrous to me. It's a legitimately great and Brandon's like never stops about this. I'll talk to him about he loves that movie, and he'll always swear to me. And then other people, I'll talk about like which like a movie with like just like sets the mood perfectly. I think people love the intro to Halloween 4 more than anything else about the movie. And it's really hard to argue how good that shit is with those old decorations and the skeleton thing hanging on that rusty old barn.
Mhm.
Oh man, wherever they shot that, it's fucking amazing, you
Salt
know.
Lake City, brother. Yeah, dude. I mean, look, I saw that shot across the bow. I'm not because we've been over this, and you're like,
You also say Halloween 2 is boring. And I'm just like, dude, you're
oh, I
it's
say
like
there's moments in the middle portion of the movie that
but
drag because that is true.
I'll never forget one time you were like, I was watching Halloween 2 one time and I fell asleep.
I did.
You go, I
But
fell asleep. And I'm like, yeah, you've seen it 1,000 times. Like, it's not gonna hold. You could watch a great porn 50 times. Eventually, you'll fall asleep to it, no matter how good it is. It's
I do have some old faithfuls back there in the spank bank that I'll go back to every now and then that I remember. I do have some old faithfuls, but I don't revisit them a lot. It's on occasion. But no, you're right. I've seen it so many times. Like, yeah, but I've never fallen asleep to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Never. I've never fallen asleep to it. Like I don't know. Halloween 2 is like there are moments in the middle of that movie where I'm not even saying it's bad, but there's just not a lot going on. And that synth score, it's kind of like a lullaby, dude. You're getting these empty hallway shots and this creepy synth score, and you're just kind of like, oh yeah, dude, I can get down to this. Like I could
yeah.
take a nap. So I don't know, but I feel like I'm on a kick right now of Halloween, and I figured I probably would be until Halloween. I'm trying to listen to my audience about the kind of stuff they want to see while also not burning myself out. I'm not going to make 5 videos on why Halloween Ends is good. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. The only Ends video I've done in this run is Leave Corey Alone. Like
Oh, I saw
that.
that one.
That's it. That's the only one.
Well, dude,
I'm getting creative with some of these like topics and titles and stuff. Like it's not just like Halloween 5 revisited. Like I'm not gonna do that shit. Like I want to pick something out of each movie and talk about that. And people seem to be resonating with it.
good, and that's good. I mean, that's literally how I started growing my channel. I would come in here and I would look around and I would just look at shit. And I'm like for right now, I'm looking right now at the shelf. Monster Man, Dark Harvest 1, 2, and 3, Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes, Pumpkinhead 4, Afflicted, Pulse, Rogue. Like I'd be like, man, I want to do a video on like trash 2000s horror movies on DVD you missed or something like that. I'll just come up with shit. And then every now and again, I'll just do something ridiculous. It's always funny, man. When I'm not trying, when I throw shit up, I'll be like, what? Why did that do good? I didn't even put a thumbnail up on that. Like I
Yeah.
didn't even use a thumbnail. And it'd be like, I
This was
remember,
Christian's face.
I probably look like a moron too. It catches me like this, and
You're
people are like,
mid
"What's wrong with
talk.
that
Yeah.
guy?"
You're like literally mid talk, and it just like takes a screen grab of you mid talk,
Yeah,
and then it's like
like
20,000 views.
for instance, um, the Night of Living Dead 4K. People were real upset because a lot of people that aren't 4K people, they're Blu-ray people. The 4K version is the only version that's going to have Tom Savini's brand new cut of the film, where he changes all kinds of shit. The Blu-ray is just going to be the regular version that people already own. And I kept getting messages about it, and people were like, why is this gonna be, why is this not having this, why is it not that? And I was like, let me just do a video to kind of like say something, because it's a lot easier than trying to respond to people. I'm out and about, and I did. And I just recorded something before me and Sydney were going out that Saturday. And the next day, like a couple days later, I looked at it and I was like, I didn't even put a thumbnail up for that. I was like, why does that have 10,000 views? Like, what happened? And then I guess it's just the topic. It was hot at the time, but sometimes I just throw shit up and it ends up doing really good. So, it's like you can plan, you can try to be creative, and that's good because that keeps the trains rolling. But it's when you just kind of say, fuck it, let me just literally just say just like talk a bunch of shit and not even edit it and upload it. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God. So,
Mhm.
you know, that's the thing. Some people will ask me sometimes, well, how do I do this? I was like, honestly, man, I sometimes like I don't even know what to tell you. You just
Wing
upload.
wing it.
Just
Just wing it.
hit the red button and then hit the upload button. Like after that, I guess
Yeah, go. No,
leave
it's
it up to
funny.
fate.
It's funny because I'm sure you've done this before too. Whenever you go out of town for a couple days, you record a couple things, you get them uploaded, processed, and unlisted on your channel. And that way, over the next couple days, you can drop one each day. So you still got content coming out while you're away from home. And my last day in Tennessee, the last one I had to upload was that most controversial Halloween Blu-ray of Halloween 2 when all the fans lost their minds about the opening credits. And I remember sitting in the hotel room when I went to hit public and like save. And I was just like, I don't really think this one's going to do all that much, but like, whatever. And dude, it exploded. And
Yeah,
I was like, holy shit. And like, I just looked, it's got 34,000 views right now.
it's
And I'm like,
awesome.
I don't, but it doesn't make sense to me because, like you said, it's like, it's one of those ones you weren't really all that confident in. You didn't do this crazy thumbnail or whatever. It's a movie from 35 years ago. And you're like, fuck it. Like, we'll just, it's content, blah, blah, blah. And then the video I made on Halloween Returns 2 years ago, I sent something to you last night. I was like, dude, it's got 9,000 views in the last like week out of nowhere. Today, I just checked, it's gotten 15,000 views in the last 7 days. I'm like, dude, why did this explode again? Like YouTube, anytime anybody asks me, like when they're becoming a content creator, and I'm sure you've answered the same question 100 times, like, oh, what should I do? Like, especially if I'm starting out, like how to work the algorithm to get myself out there, exposure. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. There's nothing I can tell you that's a magic elixir. It doesn't make sense. That Halloween Returns video I did 2 years ago did well. It had 10,000 views. Like it did well, but it is almost tripled its views in the last week. And
Yeah.
I don't understand why, because it's 2 years old. So it make sense.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And it is a crapshoot. It's fun. That reminds me. I swear, I'm not trying to one up you, but I did a video and I was passionate about it. I did a video on a DVD of Return of a Living Dead 2. Not even one, 2. It's got 85,000 views.
What was the one you did that Children of the Living Dead that fucking exploded?
Well, that exploded at that point when neither one of us were doing dick. Like that
Yeah.
went 2,000 views overnight, and we were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, but I remembered like after a day, it was over like 6K. I remember seeing it on the YouTube homepage, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Christian,
I think it's because the thumbnail was silly. Let me look at it.
yeah, because I remember that one. Like at the time, yeah, dude, you were probably at like 15,000 subs or whatever. But that thing, for where you were,
And
that
see,
thing.
that's my passion is Living Dead films, so like bargain bin Living Dead films. I love covering that stuff, and it's always been good to me. Living like Saint Romero has been so good. That's what I call it, George Romero. Saint Romero has been so good to me. Anytime I talk about movies that either he influenced or he made, they always do well. And I really think it's because I just fucking love them so much that I want to do them justice.
No, that's how I am with Halloween, man. Like they always do well for me. And it's just like, and it's easy. It's effortless because like Halloween is like my thing. So when I talk about Halloween, I don't feel like I'm forcing anything. Like I could talk about these all day. So
It says it's at 4.6K. So maybe, I mean, it probably, like I said, I
relative
think
to
it
the
seemed
time, yeah.
relative to the time because it was just like, whoa, but
Yeah, because I know what it was I remember you talking to me about it, and you were like, I'm up. I think we did an episode of Uneeda, and you're like, yeah, I'm uploading this either tomorrow or the next day or whatever. It was after recording an episode, and you were like, it's probably gonna get like 300 views. Nobody knows what this fucking movie is, and then like it definitely did better than that. I think you were even shocked at the time because you had said like, I don't think many people even know what this movie is.
no, but it's so bad. I want people to see it. But some of this, I remember the first time I did something that did good for me, that I was like, man, I'm so passionate about this, and I'm so happy like it did good. When I covered Return of the Living Dead, Necropolis, and Rave to the Grave,
Yeah,
and
those
I worked.
exploded. Those did over 10K, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they're about that right now. Again, this was relative to the time, and dude, I just love it. I'm still very humbled whenever I get that comma,
Yeah.
in my videos, like seriously, because it just like just to think that 1,000 people have viewed something I've done is mind blowing to me, still till this very day, and I don't take it for granted. And you know, I'm humbled every time. But like when I started doing stuff, it's funny. It's like when I stopped chasing the cheese, like, oh, I gotta cover this, I gotta cover this, I gotta cover this. This just happened. This just happened. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fine to do it, especially if you're interested in it and you have an opinion. Put your opinion out there. There's nothing wrong with that. But I decided a lot of people, I think when people do YouTube, they want to make that their thing, and that's fine. You want to put your name out there and cover stuff that's hot, but eventually it's like, well, what do you like? And I'm not saying you, I'm just like in anybody that's a YouTuber. And I'm like, well, what is it that you like? What is it you enjoy? Let me hear it. Give it to me. And
Well,
I
that's
just
the
always
thing
feel that if
too.
you do what you love, it will. If you do what you genuinely love, the viewers and the money will eventually come. It always will. It just you. But if you know at the end of the day, you talk about stuff you fucking love, it will happen for you. I believe that fully because you know
Well,
I
I mean,
did what I loved. I just did a lot of it.
I'm
That's what I did.
I mean, I can tell anybody that may be apprehensive of that. I'm literally living proof of that right now. The last 2 months are the most successful my channel's ever been, and I have predominantly talked about what I love the most, which is Halloween. So, and I think the reason for that is, and I've gotten a couple comments that are like, "Oh, hey, when are you going to talk about this or cover this?" Like, new topics or whatever. I stopped chasing that too because one, I wasn't passionate about it, and two, I it's so oversaturated at this point. Everybody wants to be that. Everybody wants to do the horror news thing, and it's just like you can't really break out in that way. And the way you're going to build like a following of people that want to watch you is like when you talk about something that they can tell you are very knowledgeable about, that you care about. That's when the best of you comes out. And the last 2 months, I've gotten some of the most like humbling, coolest comments I've ever received. I've gotten people saying like, I love listening to you talk about Halloween. Like you clearly know your shit. Like you clearly have a passion for this. I've had so many people be like, I love your cadence and your voice and like the way you talk. Like you should do radio. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, but like just a lot of cool stuff like that. And it's just proof positive to that point. Like when you're talking about people see the authenticity. Like they just do when it's genuine. Like when you're talking about something that you know inside and out, that you love, and that you can defend whatever stance it may be, like someone doesn't have to agree. And you get a lot of comments like that where it's like, hey, I don't agree, but I totally see what you're saying and I respect it. And like, I don't know, it's just really cool. I felt it was kind of a weird experience for me to hit 10,000 because I didn't ever know if that was realistic. You remember a couple months ago, after we recorded an episode of Uneeda, we were sitting in the virtual green room and I was like, my goal is to hopefully hit 10K by the end of the year. Not sure if I can. And you were like, oh, you can, like, just, do what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. I was at 7,500 at that time. That actually might've been the last episode we did, quite frankly. I think it might've been the last or the second to last one we did. And, 3,000 subs later, I was just like, holy shit. Like, it's one of those things where I wasn't used to what some people are, where you check your YouTube studio every hour and you have 20, 30 more subs. Like I wasn't used to that. That wasn't something I saw, I would see 10 to 15 a day, like on average, and I would be fine with that. But now it's like multiple every hour, 10, 15, 20 every hour. And it's just like, holy shit, dude. Like I'm about to crack 11K and I just passed 10K. And like, I don't know. I never thought that was like realistic for me, I guess, because like I don't have the most like professional setup, I don't have
Dude,
these overhead lights and shit, but like I know what I'm talking about, and I stick to what I'm good at and what I'm passionate about, and it's finding an audience.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, are you doing the best you can? It's that simple. It's not easy, but it is also that easy.
In one
I got
respect,
to
and
a point
probably
where I would blame people. I would be annoyed at people. I was like, why are they doing better than me? And it's really not a competition, but you see people do a certain level and it's like, you want that. There's nothing wrong with wanting better for yourself. But if you are not doing your best, you're not going to get what you want out of it. I looked myself in the mirror. I said, I am sick. I would point fingers. I would look at this and I was like, I'm going to fucking just shut up. I'm going to mind my business and I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a good equipment. I'm going to, fucking, edit. I'm going to whatever. Like, and I'm going to talk about what I love and I'm going to do it the best that I fucking can. And at least if I fail, then I know that it just is what it is. But that's why I say it's not going to. If you love what you do and you put the effort in, stop bitching and pissing. And I'm not talking about you in general. Like, because I did this. I would bitch, piss, and moan, and I would point the finger at everything except me. And I was like, you know what? My videos kind of suck. They kind of suck,
I don't think
So,
you. I see what you're saying. I'll be honest with you though. Like I always kind of used you as a barometer over the years of like what I should do because you had seen steady growth. And honestly, Christian, I've found recently the less I do, the less busy a video is, the better it is. In the sense of like all these bells and whistles that people are putting into videos every 5 seconds. Here's a video clip. Here's a sound effect. Here's a transition effect. I actually don't think that people are resonating with that as much these days. Like I find it easier to talk about something. By the way, my videos lately have not been more than 10 minutes. And I've gotten comments like, and that's not intentional. Like I'll talk about something and then when I edit it, I'm like, oh, it's only 8 minutes. Okay, whatever. People will be like, I could listen to you talk about Halloween for an hour. Why are your videos always like 10 minutes or so? And I'm like, well, I try to get to the point. But I've noticed the less I do in that regard, like I still edit everything. Everything is trimmed, everything is cut, everything is lined up perfectly. Like I still do that. That's the most monotonous part of the YouTube game is editing. I've always felt that way. It is easy to sit in front of this camera and bullshit. It is annoying to then sit down and go, okay, now it's time to trim all these video files. Like
yeah.
that's what it doesn't piss me off, but that's what takes the longest. But I felt, and I noticed you've done this for a while too. It's just like, I'm talking about something. Here's a photo of what I'm talking about. Here's me again. Here's a quick photo of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, I don't know what it is, but that simplicity works. Like that works for people. They don't need all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, visual aids are important in my opinion, but the problem is I see people bitch all the time. Man, my video got copyrighted by Universal, blah blah blah. And I would say, just use fucking pictures. It's a visual aid. But nobody listens to me. This
Or
is why I
use
always say I don't give advice because nobody fucking listens to me, even when they fucking ask me. So I
or
don't give
you
nobody no goddamn advice anymore.
or use 7-second video clips without the audio. I have never once gotten a copyright strike with a 7-second or less clip that does not have the audio. And all you have to do is overlay that over you talking so they can see the clip you're talking about, but they can't hear it.
I like doing this thing now, and I kind of do this for me, but I put this effect on it where it's like a transistor TV where you see like the analog lines kind of going down the screen while I have an image like showing up, so it looks like it's like a paused VHS tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that, so I've been doing that lately, and I think that works. I mean, it's a nice little visual aid.
It's these little simple aesthetic touches that I think are working more than everybody that's just doing too much. But long story short, like, yeah, dude, I felt like getting to 10K, I did feel like I had achieved something. And I'm sure you did when you got to 10 as well. And everybody that's gotten to 10, I'm sure like that was probably the first moment. Like 1,000 is that moment, like at the beginning. But then getting to 10 was like the next moment where I was like, holy shit, dude, like 10,000 people care about what I have to say. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's a big ass concert. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
that's
it's a lot. Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's humbling, and it does feel good. It does feel good, and yeah, congrats. I mean, it's not easy to do that, you know.
it's not no, it's not easy being cheesy, but I I will continue to. I'm just gonna keep pushing, man. Like Christian and I, we talk behind the scenes. You know, I have motivating factors here. Okay, like obviously I want this to be a secondary source of income. Of course, I think all of us content creators do, but this was a hobby first and foremost for me, and it always will be. But you say it's not a competition, and it's not. But healthy competition is still good. Like you should have bars that you set for yourself. You should have goals, and you should strive for those. And then when you reach those, you shouldn't rest on your laurels. Like when I hit 10, I wasn't like, okay, I can take a break with the uploading every day. No, I kept it going because I was like, well, I did this. Why can't I do 20? You know, like why can't I do 30? Like I can. So yeah, it takes some sacrifice, man. You lose a lot of sleep. But it's all worth it. It's been really cool. So again, thanks to everybody. But anyway, enough. We're talking about a bunch of shit. We're 45 minutes in. We're all over the place. I mean, before we get into anything, there's some topics I want to discuss with you tonight. I do want to tell the audience, and I'm not putting the cart before the horse here. I've been in communication with Lauren Marie Taylor from Friday Part 2, and Christian said she was in a movie called Girls Night Out as well that I need to check out. She was Vicky in Friday Part 2. She is going to be on the podcast. She followed up with me yesterday on her own because I hadn't emailed her in a week or so. And she was like, hey, just wanted to let you know, like, I'm still interested. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. We're going to set something up for October. So that is going to happen. I'm going to watch Girls Night Out because Christian told me to check that out. And I'm sure she doesn't only want to talk about Vicky and Friday too. But I think that'll be cool for a lot
In
of
a
the
violent
fans.
nature. She wants to talk about it in a violent
Yes.
nature.
Yeah. And I'm going to talk to her about that as well. And maybe ask her, didn't you say, like, let's ask her if she's going to be in part 2? Did you say something like that? Somebody said something somebody said something like that to me, but yeah, so there'll be stuff to talk about there, and that's going to be really cool. We'll probably do that in October. But yeah, man, I feel like getting the elephant in the room out right away. I say right away, 45 minutes in. Obviously, when you guys are watching this, I'll probably drop this Saturday. So to give everybody on Patreon a full day to watch it early. But a couple days ago, as we're recording this yesterday, we all saw what happened, unfortunately. Christian, where do you want to go with this, man? I guess I'll just say really quickly before handing you the mic figuratively is like, I was really disheartened to see some of the responses on social media to obviously what happened to Charlie Kirk. It's no secret to anybody that knows me. Charlie Kirk and I agree on pretty much nothing. I just don't agree with a lot of his ideology, but I respect everybody's right to say whatever they want so long as it's not causing harm. And that's in debate, healthy debate and discourse is great. It's kind of what our forefathers fought for and stood for. So it's obviously tragic because the dude was like our age. Kind of put your own mortality into perspective. Regardless of whether you agree or disagree or hated the person or not, like literally nobody deserves that. Like nobody. And being somebody that was raised, Christian and still sharing those values, like I'm not judge, jury, and executioner. It's not my job to decide who is worthy of life, or you know what I mean? Like that's not for me to decide. But I can tell you he didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. And it's all the more tragic that like we saw it. I don't know how to put this into words, man, but like watching that, and I didn't even come across it intentionally at first. You had sent me something, we were texting, and I had already seen it, and I came across it unintentionally on Twitter. And I don't know if you had the same reaction I did, but like it's like a moment you have where you're almost kind of like traumatized that you just saw that. Like you're almost like, because it's real. Like that was real. That really just happened. And like, I don't know, dude. Really kind of fucked me up. in the head. And this is somebody I did not care for at all. But has kids, has parents, has a wife, has friends, and it's awful. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I think that basic human decency, it's just like ingrained in our DNA to feel about these things the way that we do. Like, we should feel sad. We should feel a little traumatized by that. It should not ever be okay or accepted. And, there's a lot of edge lords on social media right now that are kind of taking like victory laps. And I just think it's a bad look. But I can't tell anybody how they should process something like this. That's on you. That is also your right. I'm just saying, like, me as a person, like, as a human being, I value life, and to see that, it's awful, man. Like, I don't really know what else to say.
I think there's only one reasonable response to something like that, and that is obviously to mourn the loss of human life from somebody that was blatantly murdered in cold blood in front of 5 or 10,000 people, however many people, it's thousands of people there. Whether you agree or disagree with the guy, he was giving his opinion on something in an open forum. Doesn't matter if you agree or disagree. He was not doing anything wrong. He was sharing his ideas. Whether you like it or not doesn't fucking matter. It's not even something you should bring up. He was fucking murdered in cold blood. There's only one normal response to this, and that should be mourning the loss of it. And if you want to be a piece of shit and say, well, I don't care, would you say that to his little kids? Would you walk up? Would you say that to their faces? I'm going to be honest. Go fuck yourself. If I don't start speaking up when stuff like this happens, when people are that shitty online, I'm gonna hate myself. Go fuck yourself. Seriously, this shit has to stop. We have to continue to talk, and this violence, it's only gonna get worse. I pray to God there's no tit for tat with this whole thing. It has to stop. And whoever did that, you better pray. If God is real, you will be brought to justice. I even saw the mayor, it was the governor of Utah or the mayor, one of the two. He was saying, we're gonna fine you, and we still have the death penalty in Utah. Just FYI.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how we're even at a point where we can not think this is vile. It's disturbing to me. It's disturbing to me.
Yeah.
I don't and respectfully, I'm not talking about you necessarily, because I agree. I'm not gonna be. I was never in line to get Charlie Kirk's autograph. I'll put it to you like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But my point is, he was a goddamn human being who was fucking murdered in cold blood. And those poor kids, they're gonna go the rest of their life with that video is never going away. That video is gonna be on the internet for the rest of those children's lives. And it's gonna be thrown in their face all the time. It doesn't they're not gonna look it up, Christian. Guys, if these kids exist on social media, people are gonna be fucking trying to send that video they're not gonna have social media lives after this.
No.
It's just tragic. We have to stop.
The only reason, Christian, that I qualified it in the way that I did was because people were saying, like, oh, well, it's part of the excuse for why some people were dancing on his grave were like, oh, he said this once and he said that, and I don't agree with
Yeah,
this.
he said stuff that's thrown like it's a viral clip on Jubilee, which I love Jubilee. I watch every episode. My boy Jank did great on there. But yeah, there was a viral clip where they asked him if his daughter would if she got at a very young age, and he's had a needless to say a very controversial answer. Okay, I get it. Does that deserve a fucking bullet in the neck? Like, where are we at? I don't understand this.
And the worst part is everybody that doesn't act like this. And by the way, I'm just going to say this. This is happening on both sides. And anybody that tries to frame this as it's a one-side problem, you're only fomenting more of these things.
I'll put it to you like this, Nick. The second I talk to anybody about politics, and I don't do this online, this is the most I ever will. You know, because we're at a point now where we are in such a disturbed reality that, you know, I can't just talk about Jason Lives and act like the world is not fucked. I can't. We're at this point. But the second I talk to anybody about politics in personal life and they do anything with what about, I immediately shut down because I know there's no conversation to be had. I stop. I immediately stop talking because, you know, that tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, and if anybody comments on this video that says something like that, I'm just not going to engage with that because the facts don't bear that out. The facts bear this out very clearly. We are living in a time right now where on both extreme sides right now, people are they're committing violent acts against people they disagree with. And one, not only is that never justified, two, it only makes things worse. You're already taking a cancerous landscape and you're nuking it. And to the point where what? Until we get to a point of no return, like no civility ever again, we can't ever engage in debate. We can't ever disagree. We can't ever shake hands and still be friends at the end of the day. Like there are probably thousands of you that watch my videos or watch Christian's videos that we would not agree on certain issues. But guess what? We don't look at each other through that lens because we have a shared love for something else. And that is what should be our driving force as humans, like just being human and being decent. And like, we've lost that. And every time something like this happens, it gets worse and worse and worse. And until what? Until what? What is your grand goal here? Like to split this country in two, literally and figuratively? I don't want that. Most level-headed people don't want that. But at the end of the day, man, it's tragic. I don't give a shit what you thought about him as a person or a commentator or whatever, because I'd agree with probably a lot of what you said if you were a detractor of his. That was a human being that just got murdered in front of all of us. If you don't have a shred of like, Jesus Christ, like what is this world coming to? Then you're lost. Like you're truly lost. And I don't know what else to say. Like I really don't. Like my mortality is something I struggle with every single day. And to know that at 31 years old, it could just be lights out like that because somebody doesn't like you. That's fucked up.
It's terrifying, dude. Like I saw the video and it is haunting.
Yeah. Yeah, to put it mildly. I mean, it's
truly haunting.
It's something that's gonna stick with me forever, dude. Like forever.
I think I even thought it was AI at first.
I did too. I saw a photo before I saw the video and I was like, this is not real. That doesn't look real. And then I saw the video and I was like, holy fuck. That's And it's just like a thing where you kind of sit like wherever you're sitting when you first saw it, and you're just kind of like, you sit there for a minute and you're just like, holy fuck, dude. Like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to think. But yeah, you know, Christian and I, we talked before we started recording that we were going to bring this up simply because it is probably the biggest news story of, you know, definitely the week. And I'm not going to forget about the multiple mass shootings that have happened this week either. I know there have been multiple. There was one tonight at a naval base. There was one.
It's hard to keep up.
Exactly. Like
that's a whole nother thing.
I'm not going to sweep any of these acts of violence under the rug. Like
you can't even keep up with all the shit going on.
No, and the point that Christian and I are making here, and we've agreed on for years about, is it's fucked. It's all fucked. It's broken, and it's just getting worse. And what do? We retreat into our camps when this happens, and we go, "Well, it's their fault." No, it's their fault. No, it's their fault. We should be coming together, bro.
It's like we're all pawns in this fucked up game, you know?
Yeah, this is a moment for unity. Every time something like this happens, any kind of tragedy, remember 9/11, bro. I know you remember that. There was George W.
was in
Bush was
4th grade,
never
yeah.
more popular. He was never more popular than right after 9/11. Why? Because we put all of our petty grievances aside and we were like, we band together for our country, for our people, and we're not going to stand for this. We shouldn't accept this shit anymore at all. Any kind of violence. You want to call it a mental health problem? Cool, let's address it. You want to call it a gun problem? Cool, let's address it. I don't give a shit. And I'm not claiming to have the right answer. I don't have the right answer. It's probably a multifaceted thing. But stop with these empty platitudes and running into your camps and blaming everybody else. Look in the fucking mirror, swallow your pride, and come together and let's start to talk and start to like fix things. Because how often do we have to see these news stories every fucking week before people finally decide that enough's enough, man? Like,
Yeah.
You want to fund mental health? Let's fund mental health. We can start there. I totally agree with you. Let's do it. Let's do it tomorrow. Enough of this bullshit. Like, it doesn't matter enough to you if you don't care enough to actually do something about it. It's just empty words. And I don't want to see innocent people die. I don't want to see anyone die. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, tell me if yeah, I agree. You know, I don't feel like getting into a whole gun thing right now. But
No, and neither do I, which is why I'm saying whatever you think the answer is, let's tackle all of them. Let's just look at all of them. What can we do in every respect here? Let's make everybody happy. Let's have the debate, though. Let's talk about it. Let's come together, not pull each other apart, bro, because that's what we're doing. We're like somebody spreading their butt cheeks when the cheeks we should be clenching, you know, not spreading. So I wanted to make it a little lighthearted there at the end. But all right, Christian, I saw something today. And by the way, guys, just to put a bow on that, if you're new to my channel or you don't know Christian because you found me from Halloween or whatever, what you should take away from that 10-minute segment right there is we're both just empathetic, decent human beings. Like, it's not about politics.
If they didn't get that, Nick, if they didn't get that, we ain't winning them.
I know, and that's fine. That's fine. But
you know,
I saw
for not wanting humans to get shot.
I know, right? God, cancel me. I'm not big enough to cancel. So, Christian, I saw something today. What's this deal? Paramount, Warner, what's going on here?
It's speculation. You know, we don't know. This is the way I understand it. If an offer or a bid is thrown out there, it has to be taken seriously legally because of the shareholders. Not getting political again, but I think that's what happened with Twitter. Like, Elon offered so much money for Twitter that the shareholders had to be like, I don't think Twitter was necessarily for sale, but when you're able to offer that much money, like, it has to be taken seriously, these high bids and things like that. So apparently Paramount wants to buy Warner Bros. Outright, their properties, everything. So I'm kind of surprised because I thought Warner Brothers was the most expensive out of any of them, to be honest with you. Like, I thought they were the biggest out of any of them. I guess not.
Well, Warner is also, that's weird because Warner's doing really well right now.
Like, I know Conjuring really made like $800 billion.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. We definitely need to address that. But yeah, it's weird. Like, they've had a lot of hits this year. Weapons, Sinners, Conjuring, Superman. Like, all of those movies are turning them a healthy profit. Warner's probably going to be the studio that comes out on top this year. Like,
but where are they losing? That's what we don't know. They got to be bleeding money somewhere. They probably
HBO
don't
Max,
understand.
Maybe.
Oh, HBO Max is probably in the shit hole. They're probably losing billions on HBO Max because it's like people have got so much distrust with them. The constant rebranding. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Paramount, I am always going to sing Paramount's praises. I know I come across as a fanboy because of like the Friday the 13th lineage and stuff like that, but I love Paramount. I love Paramount Plus. It's a solid ass streaming site. They're very, very good on physical media. They don't shy away from it. They don't make anything really exclusive. And they put out good, consistent shit all the time. So I can believe it, I guess. But I think what it is Paramount doesn't have as much losses as Warner Bros. Like, Warner Bros. Has to be bleeding money. They have to. you know?
I mean, yeah, because I don't even know. And like you said, you are right, by the way, about the Twitter thing. Elon kind of like threw that out there. Like
I
it
wanna
wasn't
buy
even
it.
some, yes. And then they were like, oh, really? Okay, well, let's talk. And then it was like, oh shit. Okay. And it just kind of happened. But so I know they have to take it seriously, but there's no way Warner would even consider it if they felt like, no, we're in great standing right now. Why would we do that? Why we're, you know what I mean? Like theatrically, they're doing well. You're right. But what about streaming? You know, what about these other avenues? Because I mean, and also, let's be honest, they're having a good year this year, but Warner has not had a good couple years. They haven't. This is their first good year in a while.
Was
Like,
Sinners Warner Brothers?
yes, yep.
Okay.
And Variety did an article. It was either Variety or Deadline the other day that said Sinners gave them, I think it's like 60 million in profit or 90 million, something like that. Superman made them about 125 million in profit. Weapons is going to get them about 40, 50 million in profit. And then The Conjuring will get them well over 100 million in profit. So people could look at those raw numbers and be like, dude, they're going to profit like $400 or $500 million alone just from these movies. Yes, but this is a mega corporation with so many different places those funds are being allocated to. So theatrically, they might be doing well in this current moment. But let's not forget, Warner Brothers is also the home of the failed DCEU. Whether you loved the DCEU or not, those movies lost them a lot of money. A lot. So they weren't on great footing going into this year. And then HBO Max, I mean, because, dude, you know, Netflix is even struggling. Like Netflix, of all, the titan of all of them. The last 2 years, Netflix has been struggling. If Netflix is struggling, you really don't think HBO Max is? Like, come on.
HBO Max has got to be. I really think they're bleeding. They're bleeding out bad. That HBO Max is. I look at what that could do. Like, I almost wondered, like, if you buy it, do you still keep it as a separate entity, or do you just swallow it and then you just take in all the properties and like that? I almost don't want it to happen though, because I fear the lack of how many major studios are out there still. There's Warner, there's Paramount, there's
Sony.
So I guess so, yeah. Sony,
Disney, obviously.
Paramount, Warner Brothers, Disney. What else?
I would say the next one would probably be Sony or honestly Blumhouse. Blumhouse is up there. I don't think people realize that. They're getting there. Like they really, really are.
But they're a production company, right? I mean, like major
you're
studios.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm talking about major real studios. Like
that's probably
there used to be more, but they all got bought out. Like Columbia was Columbia Pictures, and you had Touchstone and all that shit and all that stuff started getting swallowed up by everybody to where it's just, you know,
Lionsgate.
That happened with the record industry. You know, there was all these subsidiaries of labels or subsidiaries, and they all started getting bought out by the big labels, and then they would operate independently. But then, you know, I don't know. I kind of don't want it to happen at the end of the day, though, because I don't want like
cannibalization. I don't want it either. It's just like I wouldn't want Disney to buy everything. I actually kind of got bummed when Disney got Star Wars and Lucasfilm, because I'm like, I don't want everything under one fucking roof, dude. Like, because like I like the different studios, and I know you can agree with this because it feels like every one of them has their own like style.
You got to have competition,
flavor. Yeah, and it's like if it's all one studio that is over all of this, I don't know. And you've got these ones that are really starting to make a name for themselves, like Neon. I love Neon right now. Neon's on a run, but let's not kid ourselves. Neon ain't on the fucking level of these other ones. They're just not. And you know, it's I don't know, A24, but
they don't lack the quality, but they just lack, I'm assuming, the marketing.
The broad appeal. Yeah, it's the broad appeal. Like they had a huge hit with Long Legs. But I mean, a huge hit for them was like $100 million. Super successful movie, but like Warner turns out The Conjuring and it makes twice that in its opening weekend. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's
Yeah,
not the same thing.
it's not. Yeah,
Um,
no. Although, who did Weapons?
that was Warner.
That was Warner Bros.
Yep.
How did they let that slide out? That doesn't
You
feel like
know,
a major studio movie.
you know that's the movie that Jordan Peele lost like the bidding war on, right? Him and his team were fighting to get the rights to that script to make that movie, and they lost. And when that movie came out, there was a bunch of like tweets going viral of people being like, Jordan Peele should fire his entire fucking team, like because they lost out on Weapons.
I mean, if
And
they
that
didn't want to pay the money to get the fucking script, I wouldn't fire them. But it's just like, oh well. It's not like he turned
but
it down. They just didn't win the bid, for God's sakes.
well, but apparently Peele loves the script. So if you love the script or he loved the idea, if you love the idea and you have the money and say the bid is like 2 million more than you, if you truly believe in that thing, fuck it, dude. What's another 2 million on top of their bid? Like if I had that kind of I know, but if I had that kind
You
of
have
fuck
to have a
around
cap
money,
limit at some point.
yeah, but now looking at it, I'm sure he probably is like, fuck.
What studio was he going to do that with?
I don't know.
Because Jordan Peele, he's Monkey Paw, whatever it's called,
Yeah,
right?
Monkey
That's
Paw.
his. But they do movies.
Sony
with,
too. He does a lot of stuff with Sony, or Universal. What wasn't us?
Probably
Yeah,
Universal.
Us and Get Out were Universal. Yeah,
So
and
why
no.
didn't Universal? Why didn't Universal? Maybe they did. Maybe that's where the money was really coming from. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe
But
Universal. Universal was the one that was like, nope, we're not
no,
going
dude,
above this number.
Weapons. Yeah, Weapons. I mean, my buddy from work, my boss from work, we went to go see it. We loved it. Oh man, we were having such a good time in the theater watching that.
I really
And
liked it too, and I gotta say there was a couple creepy moments in it for me. When you see Aunt Gladys in the woods, and then that scene in the bed with like the boy's bed, that freaked me the fuck out. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit, dude?"
oh, dude, the scariest moment of the whole film is when she's sleeping in the car across the street, and the door
Oh,
opens up,
dude.
and the way they moved to the car is.
Oh,
We were all just kind of like this, like we were backing up watching it. We're like,
oh,
what the
yeah,
fuck is
dude.
going on?
Oh my
It was
god, that
terrifying.
yeah, and tell me the truth. I want to know what you thought halfway through the movie. Halfway through the movie, I thought it was gonna be like vampires. That's what I thought because they had like papers all over the windows of the house and stuff, and people were only coming out at night. I was like, are they gonna be vampires?
You
And
know what?
then
No, that never crossed my mind. I actually,
yeah, it was vampires for
um,
me.
there's some stuff that I don't get though. Like, why was the gun in the sky? Um,
There's actually a reading of that online. I'm trying to remember. Somebody said that that was intentional by Zach Kreger. He did.
well, clearly it was intentional, but I just don't get it. You know, unless he's not David Lynch, where it's just like we need to put a Tommy gun in the sky, and it should disappear.
Okay,
Why,
so
David? Let's just do it. Let's get dreamy. You
the
know?
floating gun and weapons is intentionally ambiguous, with Zach Kreger saying he doesn't fully understand its meaning. While some see it as a symbol of gun violence and the fear of school shootings in America, others interpret it as a visual representation of the children being weaponized by the main antagonist. The gun also has a glowing 217, referencing the specific time the children went missing. So, it's personally, that kind of makes me think Kreger did do it as a gun violence thing and just doesn't want to say that because he doesn't want to piss people off. But I also do like the reading of like it could be weaponizing the kids, you know.
Well, I like the fact. My thing is, I don't like it when you give a specific definition to something to a certain degree, because then whatever you think, you can feel. I don't know if validated is the right word about it, but like that's what you can roll with. Like, how does it make you feel?
Yeah,
When you say
confirmation
it?
bias. Yeah.
I like
You just
that. That's like I think there's a lot of bands. I think a Sevenfold guy said he doesn't give away what the lyrics are about because he wants the person to put their life in it. I love that.
yeah, but there's certain Avenged Sevenfold songs where it's like, dude, I know what this is about. Like,
You know,
so far away. Like, oh, dude, that song is clearly about the fucking Rev. But Yeah, no, the ambiguity sometimes is the best part, man. I
I thought it
totally
was
agree.
just freaky. When I saw it,
Yeah,
I was like, "It's a big ass gun in the sky."
well,
That's scary to see.
that's still when you don't know what's going on. So you're especially confused because you're like, dude, there's a big ass rifle in the sky. What the fuck is happening? And if you'd seen Barbarian, you knew coming into Weapons, like, dude, this might be
Expect
weird
the
as fuck.
unexpected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this. I for all we know, the antagonist is going to be a giant gun. Like, I wouldn't have put it past Zach Kreger.
Yeah. I can't remember if I said I thought it was better than Long Legs or not, but I'm inclined to think it kind of is. I thought Weapons was a little just
You did say it was better than
absolutely
Barbarian. I watched your review. You said you liked
then
it better than
if I
Barbarian.
said it, then I genuinely came home that night and I told Sydney, I was like, I ain't seen nothing. I haven't seen anything that original and edge of my seat since shit, you know, I was a kid maybe with Sixth Sense or something. I mean, I really, really loved it. It was a great movie. I can't wait to watch it at the house too. I mean,
Yeah, he sent me a text out of the blue. I didn't know what day Christian was going to see it. He sent me a text out of the blue and was like, "Weapons was a masterpiece." And I was like,
yeah,
"Yeah."
I gave it 5. I don't like giving 5 stars, man. I really don't. But if you ask me about that film, I would say I walked out of there feeling some kind of way, and
With
that
nary a complaint."
I loved it. I mean, I really, really loved it. I thought it was a great horror film,
No,
and,
Zach Kreger's going to go on. He's his foot is officially in the door, man. That guy's going to make some bangers. Like Barbarian was a sleeper hit. Weapons was it appealed to a far broader audience. Like Weapons, we're talking like $300 million for an R-rated horror movie. That's a big fucking deal. Like this guy,
and I guarantee you, it like 30 to 40% of it, excuse me, 30 to 40% of it's word of mouth.
oh
I
yeah,
still think the power of word of mouth is strong, is the strongest marketing tool you can have because everybody when they see stuff on TV, they kind of know, well, I'm getting marketed to, or they're trying to get me to go see it. But when you have somebody look you in the face and say, you got to see this fucking thing. Oh my God. They get you
yeah.
amped up because that's real, you know.
That's I mean, I saw that in real time with Superman. I mean, I know you weren't a huge fan, but that's just because you're not a huge fan of superhero movies, and I'm not really either. But that movie had really strong legs at the box office. It was dropping like small amounts every weekend. After every weekend, it had really good holds, and it was
Mhm.
because audiences, like superhero audiences, they gave it a chance and they were like, hey, if you like superhero movies, you're going to like this. This is a good one. And so I think people were worried because it was DC. They don't have the best track record in recent history. So people, once the word of mouth was positive on it, you saw people going out and seeing it. Yeah, absolutely. Word of mouth still matters. I don't care what anybody says. Morbius had a good opening day and then it dropped like a rock because the people that went and saw it were like, this movie's not good. So yeah, but then right, just kind of going right off of that, The Conjuring, man. We talked about this in the last episode we did. We talked about the trailer, and you were like, "Oh, I dug the trailer." I was like, "Yeah, I wasn't a big fan." Um, I actually really dug the movie. I liked it better than 3. I watched your review on it as well, and you had said, it's definitely better than 3. It's still not 1 or 2. I'm right there with you. It's not 1 or 2. It's better than 3. And I think I'll say, like, in summation about that movie, I think if you came there for a really good send off to the characters of Ed and Lorraine, you got it.
Mhm.
And I think what you also got was Michael Chavez as a director for the first time actually doing a decent job aping some of what James Wan does. While watching the movie, there was just certain things they were doing with the camera that I was like, this feels like James Wan. Like, I know James Wan had a hand in this movie, and I'm sure he did. Like, he's a producer on it, but this was the last mainline Conjuring movie, so I'm sure James Wan was like, you need to land this plane. Like, we need to land this thing, and it was good, man. There was actually a couple moments in the movie that freaked me out. One jump got me. I won't lie. I think it was can't remember who was in what room, and they're just like looking around, and then you see like a ghost chick like curled up under a table or whatever, like sitting there like smiling or whatever, and it came out of nowhere, and there wasn't this loud sound effect. The camera just kind of panned over really quick, and you see it, and I was like, fuck. And the whole scene, God, what was the scene? There was a scene that actually had me on the edge of my freaking seat. I think it was when Lorraine was in. God, I'd have to watch it again. Someone was in a
Well,
bedroom.
well, when the daughter is watching the TV at night,
Yes,
and that
yes,
whacked out hillbilly
yes.
with the blade with the axe came out. I mean, it was aggressive, and you felt
Well, dude,
my favorite.
the thing about that scene that got me was the camera kept getting closer to the TV screen, and it would flash and be black, and I was like, dude, we're gonna see something in the fucking reflection. Like,
Right.
I literally in the theater, I remember being like, oh, it's like this. I don't like this, but I do like this.
My favorite part was when the mama went downstairs to do laundry or something, and
Yeah.
you just see his silhouette, and he was big, and she flicked the light on, it wasn't there. I loved that. That was fantastic because he was big.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's James Wan type shit. Like,
Right, right.
yeah, he did do a good job with that.
Yeah. And it's sad though, because if you were going to describe to me the movies, when you tell me 3, I'm like, oh, that sounds the best. Because I love the story for 3. It's the scariest one. It's the most evil one. But yeah, this one I thought was a better film, and I liked the mirror and all that, and I like the fact that it was not glamorous 80s. It wasn't sensationalized 80s. It was average, family. And plus they had good music. They had the Cult, and they had David Bowie. It wasn't the same old shit. It was good songs too. Like, I can't stand that goddamn Kate Bush song, Running Up This Hill. The lyrics are trash. There's no melody. There's no rhyme. It's a bad song.
Running
But
Up
for
That
some
Hill?
reason, oh, I hate it. I can't stand it.
I like that song, man. I actually do. I do.
Well, I hate it. I pray to God that
I
when
got
they
shitty
do
taste.
I pray to God that season 5 they do, like, please keep using the Cult, guys. I don't know if their publishing's cheap or not, but the Cult's a great But I thought it was a good film. I mean, it was entertaining, and I'm looking forward to watching it again. But I kind of don't want it to end,
Yeah,
to be
me
honest
too.
with you. I tell you what, I have an idea. They'll never do it.
What?
They need to do a movie, The Conjuring, but I think they're frauds in real life. I really do. I do. I think they're frauds.
I think Ed was more the fraudster than Lorraine. I think Lorraine actually did mean well. I think Ed was kind of the head of that snake. And a lot of people in their actual accounts have said Lorraine was sweet. She really did seem like she wanted to help, but Ed was the ringleader. Ed was the one that was, we got to go to this place because all the media's there, and this will be a good opportunity, and blah blah blah. I think that Ed was the more morally, let's just say, gray of the two.
I'd love to see a movie where it's almost like a reporter, a journalist is trying to catch them making this shit up. And you can leave it ambiguous where you don't really know, but it's kind of like a cat and mouse thing. He's trying to catch them. He's trying to find them faking shit. Kind of like in that movie, The Last Exorcism. I'd love to see that. Give me the other side of the coin.
Kind of like,
because they were
yeah.
kind of like what?
Kind of like Halloween 5, like the cat and a mouse.
What was I saying? I guess that's it. No, but that's what I would want, man. Because my thing is this: it's like I believe that there's the possibility, of course, that there is ghosts. I don't discount it. I've never really seen anything. I've had moments that are definitely interesting to me, but I just don't buy it with them two. I just don't. And I watched a documentary on Netflix about this kid who went nuts and like killed his dad. And the kid said that he was possessed, and the daddy brought in the Warrens, and they played tapes of the Warren dad talking him through everything and like filling in, like almost coaching him. And I was like, that doesn't sound good, you know.
No,
I
like I
don't know.
said, man, if I offered one thing on that, I would say I personally think that Ed, I think Ed was largely the ringleader of that. And I do think Lorraine meant well, but she profiteered off it as well. So
Here's another thing I want to say is I have to watch it again to decide if I like it more or less. But the one horror film this year that I've thought about more after seeing it than any other one. Can you want to take a guess what it is?
give me
I
a
was I was
time
okay
frame when it came out.
this year. I'm saying this year.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater. I overall liked it. There were things about it that threw me off, but I can't get this movie out of my head.
Hit me with it. I'm lost.
28 years.
Oh, fuck me. God damn it. They got you
I tell
too.
you, I keep thinking about it. I want to see this movie again. I told Sydney about the movie, and she don't care. She'll tell me. The thing is, what can decide if I like this movie end up more is if they go with what they're insinuating at the end of the film with this whoever this guy is. You know, he's supposed to be a sick bastard. But I tell you, man, as a zombie fan, and I'll call them zombies instead of infected, whatever, potato, potato, tomato, tomato. I thought that they did a really good job with those crawlers. And
Yeah, they did. I'll give them that.
I just think I think they made a good film, but it's like I appreciate them taking some chances. The film just kind of changes its mood a little bit as you're watching it, and that happens. But I don't know what it is, man. It's like I can't get it out of my head. I want to watch it again. So I'm waiting for the Blu-ray to drop. I might get the 4K. We'll see. But I'm ready to just crank that thing up, turn the lights out, and see what it's like again.
He's ready to crank it, y'all. Look,
that dude was scary, man. It's like I don't know about you, but like to me, it's not. I can laugh, of course, but given that
you're talking about
situation,
Samson with the forearm cock,
dude, that shit is terrifying to me. Like that is
What, the
worse than a
cock
Michael
or
or Jason. Like no, a guy that big screaming and yelling bare naked. I mean, seriously, laugh all you want. I would
No,
shit
I'm just
myself.
laughing because his dick was like my forearm, dude.
I would
Like-
run like Forrest Gump whenever he gets told that like his mom is sick. You remember he just jumps off the boat? That'd be me. I'd be moving so fast. I'd be shitting bricks, you know. I'll tell you, man, I'm ready to see the Bone Temple. I think that comes out soon, actually.
January.
Yep. You know what, dude? It may be pretty good too. You know, we'll see. But I'll be honest with you, I'm looking forward to it. I know everybody wants to see Cillian Murphy come back. He may come in this one. I don't know.
He is. He is in this one. Small, minor role, but he is going to be in this one.
If he is and it gets out, it'll make more money.
Oh no, Danny Boyle already said that Cillian Murphy will appear in the Bone Temple.
Oh,
but
it's gonna make money.
But he also said, but it's in a minor role to set him up for a major role in the third movie of the trilogy.
Oh, the third one's gonna be big, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, you and I had you and I had the same take on it. I mean, we both walked away. I think we both gave it 3.5. I think, and you were like, yeah, I was really enjoying it until we got to the doctor. And then I felt like the movie kind of was a little bit all over the place. It was tonally just kind of whack. And that's exactly where I was at. Like, I loved the first half of this movie. I mean, I
Oh, it's
really did.
brilliant.
I'm sitting in the theater and I'm like, dude, that scene when they're running back to the island and they're getting chased, that shit was awesome. Like, I loved that
Oh,
sequence.
that scene is done. Everything about it too. The fact that it's a, the ground TP's right there, but you can only cross it during certain times of the day, and the water was getting high. Oh, dude, it's brilliant. And that bastard was running.
Oh yeah, he
It
was.
was done
And I
so
mean,
well.
I can run fast, buddy. Trust me, but I can't run that fast. All right, like that's yeah, that's a great scene. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to ask you though, because I didn't watch your review because I haven't seen it yet, but I did see your letterboxed for Lineage, and it seemed like you might have been a little let down by it.
Yes and no. It's as good, maybe a touch better than 2 and 3, but it doesn't touch 1 or Origins, which I still think Origins is one of the greatest found footage films of all time.
Was it jarring?
Ultimate,
Was it because it wasn't found footage?
no, it wasn't, to be honest with you. And this isn't a spoiler, but some of the sequences with the clowns give you almost a POV shot, and you get the illusion in some sense. There's one scene, I'll give you zero context, but there's one scene in the movie where a gentleman's coming down the stairs. He has to come down the stairs. And guess who's at the bottom of the stairs? It's the clown.
Yeah.
And like as he's walking, you get a POV shot, and he's just looking up like this, the clown is, and then you get this POV shot of the guy creeping down the stairs. Some of those moments were fantastic. The story is a little convoluted, and it just felt like a straight to streaming type of movie. And that's really what it is. I understand this did go to theaters. Did I regret seeing it in theaters? No, I actually enjoyed myself, and I love this world. I want more of it. I hope it's not the end. And I kind of get it. I mean, he's done 4 of them as found footage. I think he's just like, I got nothing left to give in that genre. So I kind of get that, but I was let down, but I knew I wasn't going to see 1 or 4, I think it's worth a watch. Most people don't like it, though. I will be honest with you. I actually think I'm on the higher end of the
You are,
spectrum,
from what I saw.
because a
Yeah.
lot of people don't like it. I think there's some scary moments, though, for sure. But it's all up to it's all in the eye of the beholder. When it hits streaming, which is when everybody's going to see it. It was me and 2 black ladies, and we were having a great time. They sat in the back. And I remember one moment they screamed. I looked behind them. I said, "Y'all all right?" And they started laughing. We had a good time in the theater. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think overall it doesn't work for people. What brought you to the dance? I think people feel a little betrayed. To be honest with you, I really do. I think they feel a little betrayed, and rightfully so to a certain degree. I think they feel like, oh, that you used found footage as just a stepping stone, maybe. And we'll see. We'll see.
It's the same thing as like when a band after 5 albums, switches their sound up a little bit, and people are like, "What the fuck? Like, this isn't what made you popular." And it's like, I can never get behind.
Evolve your sounds,
Exactly. I can never get behind that way of thinking, because I'm like, I don't want bands that I listen to. There's actually a band I love since I was a teenager. They're coming out with their first album today in 9 years. I was 21 when their last album came out. I can't wait. It drops at midnight. I literally can't wait. And the singles they've released, it's a little bit different of a sound. And you're finding people bitching on social media, it's not the same. And I've gotten a little in back and forth with some of these people, and I'm like, guys, I don't want them to sound like 20-year-olds anymore. Like, singing about problems of an 18-year-old. Like,
What band? Just out of curiosity.
They're called Icy Stars. They were in like the metalcore scene.
I met them before. That's funny.
So have I love the guys in the band. I've met them a couple times. They've always been really cool to me. I've seen them live multiple times, and they kind of disappeared off the face of the earth for like the last 10 years almost. And come to find out, COVID kind of wrecked a lot of things. They were recording an album and then they put a halt on it. And the singer, Devin, he was having mental health and physical health issues. He was hospitalized for months, having chronic migraines, had no idea why. So, like, long story short, a lot of shit happened. And their new songs that they've come out with don't have a bunch of like the screaming and stuff. And people are like, where's the fucking screaming? And I'm like, dude, these guys are like my age. So they're like 30 now. Like, I don't expect them to make the same music they did when I was 19 and 20 and like going to Warped Tour. Like, that's just, I don't have the same problems I did when I was 18 years old, Christian. Like, I'm like, that wouldn't resonate with me as much.
It's like, dude, I'm a huge Manson fan, and people, like, when he started doing the high end of low and, you know, the Pale Emperor, people were turned off by it. I thought it's his best records because he totally matured. His sound completely changed. It wasn't that anthemic party gang vocal, you know, kind of stuff. His lyrics were so intricate and his sound was a lot more mature. I loved it. And then people bitched and moaned. So then he comes out with We Know Where You Fucking Live. And he tried to sound like 1996 again. And I hated it so much. You know, and then the record he just came out with last year, it's the best fucking record. The song As Sick as the Secrets Within is one of my favorite songs he's ever done. It's so mature sounding. And it sounds like a guy that, like, it's to me, records should be a diary of an artist at that point in their life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean you have to like it every time. Like, the people that want to hear whatever that kind of music that they were making was like in that point, whatever it was, 2009, 10, okay. But I love it. To me, I look at music as a diary for artists that I love. And the way that sounds is where they are in their point in their life, you know?
Yeah.
So
no, I totally agree. I think it's weird personally. Like, I think it's pretty weird energy. Like, I don't know. I get there's nostalgia.
Not everybody
there.
could be AC/DC. They've made the same record since 1972.
Yes, they have.
71.
Which, by the way, it's funny. I wanted to speaking of music, I wanted to say briefly, I went back and listened to Sonic Boom and Monster, and I got to be honest with you, man. I know the general consensus is that Monster is a step up from Sonic Boom. I think I like Sonic Boom better than Monster. Like, I'm going to be totally honest with you. There's about half of the record of Sonic Boom that I don't really care for. But, you know, I really like Modern Day Delilah. I really like Russian Roulette. Like, there's some good tracks on that album. And while it's very clear that, you know, Stanley's voice was nowhere near the same on that record, like, even in the studio, it was just, but like, I liked the instrumentation is actually pretty intricate for guys that were fucking in their 60s, you know, at the time when they recorded that. But you know, I don't know what it is why so many people find Monster to be better. It's not a bad album. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I prefer Sonic Boom. I don't know.
They both have good songs on them. I think it's called Stand By My Side off of Sonic Boom that I like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Gene song.
Yep.
It's just one of those things, man. It's just like, if you just heard those records and you didn't know anything about it, you could hear them through a different lens that it's absolutely impossible to listen to when you grew up listening to Kiss. I mean, it's really hard to listen to Animalize, which I have no idea if you've listened to much 80s Kiss before, but just listen to Animalize from 1984 and then go and listen to those records. It's impossible to think they're good when you hear Paul Stanley, who had arguably one of the greatest voices of the 80s of all time. So it's like, you can't as a huge Kiss fan, I can't even look at them as like legitimate Kiss records, as bad as that sounds.
Well, see, here's the thing with me, that's my mom's favorite band. So like, I grew up with listening to Kiss. I was never in love with them, but I heard them all the time because it's my mom's favorite band. And so like that's what I'm talking about though with Sonic Boom specifically and Monster. There are moments where Paul tries to do some of his signature, like, you know, that high pitched way. Yeah.
Oh, there's videos of him doing it live where he
It's
started doing
bad.
lip
It's
sync
bad.
last tour, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. When you're in the studio, you can doctor that up a little bit. I guess I can kind of respect that they didn't, because it's like, don't give people the impression he can still do this and then play these songs live. And people are like, what the fuck? Like Vince Neil. Yes, I said Vince Neil.
They're a joke, man. John 5 is the biggest moron ever walking this planet.
Dude, we've talked about this like 8 times on Uneeda. Like we always come back to
He's an
fucking.
idiot.
I know. But yeah,
He had the best gig on earth. Now Rob has the original band back together mostly, you know. Although, dude, I saw a video. It was Metal Injection, is the YouTube channel, and he got the White Zombie band, Shawnee Salt, the bass player, and Jay, the guitar player. I forget the drummer's name. And it was a 30th anniversary. It was an interview from 2022. It was the 30th anniversary of Los Exorcisto. And I'm just like, man, look at these guys and the girl, obviously Sean. Look how healthy they are. They're all not old. They look great. They're probably all in their 50s. They look healthy. They look active. They all could still jam. Why the fuck can't we get a White Zombie reunion? But everything I've ever read about Rob is when he's done with you, he's done with you. And I know that he dated Sean, so I think that that's like it'll never happen. But it's funny. I was when the day I listened to that, the next day on YouTube, I don't know if you saw this, but I was like, true or false, White Zombie is better than Rob Zombie. Unanimous. Everybody's like, love Rob Zombie, but literally nothing touches that 96 White Zombie record. And so I went back and listened to that record. And you know what? They're fucking right, dude.
Yeah.
The last White Zombie record is probably one of the best industrial records. Like, it's fucking insane how good that record is.
Yeah, and that's not to take away from Rob, because you and I have talked about this. I like some of his solo shit. I really do.
Yeah,
but
dude. Rob's first 3 solo records are all fantastic. Which is Hellbilly, the '01 record. I forget it, and Educated Horses.
Yeah, Educated Horses was
But the second record, The Sinister Urge, those are 3 absolutely fantastic records. I like stuff after that for sure. The 2016 record is a masterpiece, but I hated his very last record from 2022.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that myself.
Half of it is just weird fucking digital noise shit, and it's like not even songs. And I pray to God that he does a record with the original band, and it's gonna be Hellbilly Deluxe, which I actually like Hellbilly Deluxe too. You know, I do like that record, but I hope it sounds like, in essence, like Hellbilly Deluxe 2 again.
I
not that the second record, but I mean like he needs to, it needs to be simple. Da, na, 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 yeah, da, na, na. Yeah, it needs to be like that, and he needs to come out with a goddamn movie. I need Rob to just make another goddamn movie.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir.
Get Riggs to do the soundtrack. Get Riggs to do the soundtrack. He'll do it.
You're preaching to the choir, dude. I
want to see him with the original band again, dude. Like, Rob's.
I honestly feel like there's like a hole in my life without Rob Zombie making movies. Like, I was really stoked for the Munsters, and I didn't even grow up with the Munsters, but I was like,
but you know Rob what, Zombie. Dude? I'll be honest with you. I think the internet just fucking ruined it for him.
Yeah.
He actually had to come out and say, I don't know where you guys fucking got the idea that I made this thing for $100 million or some shit. I didn't even have a fraction of that. And then it was just like, and by the way, even though this is on Netflix, there's still going to be a Blu-ray because Rob's a physical media guy. He just gets shit on. So like, I really think the internet has just made him be like, man, fuck you guys. I can't win for losing.
Oh yeah, and that started back with Halloween, man. Because after Devil's Rejects, he was in most people's good graces, horror fans at least. And then it was Halloween where really it began. And since then, he's just been kind of the whipping boy. And it's crazy because you and I have talked about this a million times, and I'll continue to maintain this as long as I live. I think he's one of the most talented filmmakers of my lifetime, for sure, in horror. Like he just is. Visually, he's got great ideas. The style and tone that he brings to his movies, you don't see that these days. And it always feels so authentic. And the soundtracks are always fucking killer. And like he gets the details of every period down to the fucking like last minute detail. Like I love Rob as a filmmaker. And yeah, dude, I feel like I don't want these people, motherfuckers, to think that like they won though. Like, yeah, we bullied Rob Zombie out of making movies. No, you didn't. I think he's just like, I just don't want to hear it anymore. Like I do this for fun. It's a hobby. I've got fuck you money. I don't care. But like, it's not worth it. And like, that sucks.
I hope we hear something soon. I mean, like he's got no problem promoting all his other films and releasing this, releasing that, and putting
You
this
getting that
out.
House of a Thousand Corpses book?
No, I'm not getting the Golden House of Thousand. It's too expensive. For like the one time I looked at it, I was like, yeah, it's cool, but no, I'm good.
How much is it? I didn't look, but I saw it was limited to like what, 500 copies or 1,000?
Oh, that version? Hell no. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not getting that one either. You know,
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, "Whoo, buddy!"
I gotta push back a little bit. I just disagree. I mean, that's your opinion. I don't think he's one of the most talented. I think he's one of the most individualistic, but he is no James Wan or Zach Kreger. Like he's very individualistic.
No, I'm sorry. I'm pushing back on that. I can't put Kreger in that conversation yet. I can't do that yet. We talked about this with Jordan Peele as well. Peele only has 3 movies. He can't be in that conversation yet. We have to be consistent there. I understand what you're saying. And as a writer, you're probably right. But like visually, we did this on the last episode where we talked about this generation of horror filmmakers like Mount Rushmore. We both agreed Rob is on it. Flanagan's on it. Wan's on it. Rob's on it. And then
but that's because that's because I love his style. But that's what he knows how to do is his style. I don't think Rob is very flexible.
No, a Rob Zombie movie is a Rob Zombie movie. That is why, like, if you're not a fan, you're never going to become a fan. Like, Rob's not going to all of a sudden.
I don't know if Rob could direct a script. It's got to be his script.
Yeah, and that's his weakness too, is that it's in his writing sometimes. And it's like, Rob, if you just had a co-writer that could like massage some of these things, I don't think Rob would be as polarizing as he is. But the problem is, yeah, but I get it. I get it as an auteur. Like Rob feels like, no, this is my vision. This is how I want this to be. This is what makes sense to me. This is my baby. I'm going to do this. I respect that. But we're not always right. Sometimes we need that voice in our ear that's like, maybe this should be different. And like, Sherry's not that voice. Sherry's like, you putting me in it? Great. Can't wait. What role am I playing this time? Like, and I swear to God, Rob does that just so he gets another paycheck in their household from whatever studio makes that movie. Like, oh, hey, Universal, I'm casting Sherry. Y'all got to pay her. Like,
you know what though? That's his wife.
I get it. I don't hate on the guy for it. I don't hate on the guy for it, but it's one of those things, man. It's like he needs. I think you could agree. He could really benefit from having a voice, in his ear sometimes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think he's got some of the most important horror films in the last 20 years. Technically 25 years. I think his first 2 movies will stand the test of time. He created a character with Captain Spaulding that will never die.
No, I see tattoos of Captain Spaulding out in the wild.
Above anything. I mean, I think Captain Spaulding is going to be his greatest creation.
Yeah.
Over anything. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously. I mean,
No,
over
I
Otis,
don't
over
I don't
anything his
disagree.
wife has done,
I was
over
talking to
his
my
Halloween
brother.
films, it's Captain Spaulding.
Or no, I was talking to Jaden about this the other day, and I kind of want to see what you think about this. Do you think that Otis is up there at this point with Chop Top for Bill Moseley? Like, do you think he's as recognizable for both, or do you think it's still Chop Top?
No, I think Otis is higher.
Same. I thought so too.
That doesn't mean I like Otis more than Chop Top though.
Yeah, I understand that.
But
Also,
I
it's
think in
two
pop
different Otises.
culture, I think if you ask the average person, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what do you like about it? Just the average person. Oh, I remember seeing that when I was a kid. Oh, we couldn't watch that. What about part two? You already lost half of the average person. But I
Yep.
think in pop culture world, Devil's Rejects and House, people have seen those more than Texas Chainsaw 2. You know, especially younger people. So
Although I do remember having very fond memories as a kid. I was very familiar with "Lick My Plate, You Dog Dick." Like that was the thing that, like, I couldn't have told you anything about part two, but I remembered at a young age the opening sequence, Chop Top, and that scene in the fucking radio station with Leatherface, like chainsaw fucking Caroline Williams. Like that, those things stuck out to me.
yeah,
And Dennis Hopper's just completely over the top portrayal of Lefty. Like,
he's one of the greatest actors of all time. I
yeah,
have seen
you
Dennis
either
do
love that
some of the
performance or you
greatest.
hate it, though. Like,
Well, I if you don't love that performance,
I do.
I
I
don't know what to
do.
tell you.
I do. I'm just saying that stuck out to me as a kid. Like, just being like, dude, this is so, because I respect the hell out of Toby Hooper for doing what he did, coming back to do a sequel, but only doing it because he could do it wildly differently. Like, you couldn't have made a sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the exact same vein and style and tone. I just don't think it would have worked. Part two being what it is, being so wildly different in so many ways, I think is why it's good. Like, I don't know. I didn't want a watered down version of the first one. I'm glad that's not what we got. But I'm still
Man,
not.
I got to see the first movie in the theater last month.
Mhm.
I really can't emphasize how different of an experience that was. Seeing the movie blown up that big, and you can really get a sense of that back room where the bodies were in that freezer. The girl was in the
Yeah.
freezer and her getting put on the hook, where you really
Mhm.
see everything, the detail everywhere, the stuff that you would never notice on a 55-inch, 60-inch TV. When you see it on a 600-inch TV, whatever it was, theater screen, it was absolutely fucking incredible. It was one of the greatest experiences in the theater I've ever had. If it ever comes back, I'm going to see it again.
Did you
You know,
did you see Jaws for the 50th?
I have not. I'm gonna try to this weekend if I can, just for my own personal pleasure. I got to see Friday the 13th in the theater, and it was
Mhm.
fucking incredible, absolutely amazing. And I got to see Texas Chainsaw in the theater.
Have you done any of the Halloween movies yet? Because I know they usually release 1 and 4 and 5.
No, I've never seen it. I've always wanted to try to get one of those re-release posters if they ever hang them up, but they don't usually do around me. They just have the screenings. No, if
Yeah.
Halloween 145 play, I will be there day one. Day one if I can. It
That's been
really
my
is.
problem, is I've never seen them around
Yeah.
me. It's been like 45 minutes is the closest theater.
I want to see, you know, fucking. I want to see so much old stuff in the theater that I can, just to see how good it looks blown up on 4K. But no, man, the original Friday was true. My wife had a great time. I remember she was just kind of like, I was like, let's go. And we watched it. We just looking at each other like, holy shit. Like, this really, you can't do this at home. The way this movie feels, it comes into the room with you when it's that big. And there was so much young people there. It blew my mind. There was this whole row of like college girls or high school girls. They might have been 18, 17. They all had sweatshirts and pajamas on. And they took up the whole row, like 2 rows in front of us. And I was like, Sydney, look at that. And they were all these girls. They were yelling and screaming, having a good. It was amazing, man. I just had such a good time, and I hope I could see more Fridays in the theater. I hope I can see Friday in the theater in general again.
Yeah, that's what I was
Here's
going to
another
say. That
thing, and I mean this. I wasn't bull. I did a short about this the other day. I am more excited about the Crystal Lake TV show than I am about a movie at this point. Everything I've seen from the TV show, I've been vastly. So I've been talking with the Blairstown Diner. I've become friendly with the people that run the social media. They're using it. They're filming that shit at the diner around that area. I think Linda is going to be fantastic. And the images we've seen of her running into Crazy Ralph at the diner, like they've leaked that stuff. I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like this is going to, because to me, Friday the 13th is New Jersey. You have to film it in New Jersey. You could do the sequels in Georgia and all that shit, Savannah, wherever they film New Blood, that's fine. But if you're doing Friday the 13th, that is New Jersey. So they are doing it right, man. And I am more excited for it now than I ever have been. I don't think I've ever really been excited, but they have got me hooked on it now. You look thrilled about it, but I'm very, very happy.
Oh no, I am. I was just letting you go. I didn't want to interrupt you because like I agree with everything you said. I think that utilizing that location was the right decision. I've loved everything I've seen, like just costuming wise from Linda. Like they have done that area up too. I know you've seen the set photos of just the set dressing and how like good it
The
looks
cop
for the time
cars and
period.
everything.
Oh yeah, dude. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, this is gonna. I think it's gonna be good too. Like I actually think it's gonna be pretty good, and I'm happy to say that. Like because I remember when they announced it, you and I both, I think initially were kind of like skeptical, like a prequel fucking TV series.
When I grew up, TV is where you went to say goodbye, like you're on your last leg, But TV
Right
now
it's
is
the only,
different.
and it's the only leg Friday has right now. We ain't even gonna get into the Jason universe shit. Okay,
Dude, I am still trying to find. Luckily, I have a great audience. Somebody in the New York area sent me a case of the beers or the Angry Orchards. I'm trying to find more because I want to stock up on them. I cannot find the bastards anywhere.
I can't find them anywhere here in Ohio. I've looked.
Yeah,
I've looked at
nobody.
Walmart. I've looked at Kroger. Can't find them.
They're popping up and I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck is it, man? Like, is it not going to show up till goddamn, October 15th or something? Like, where is it?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. So I'm gonna stock up because the blood orange is actually delicious. It's actually the blood orange which is the one with the actual hockey mask on. It's so good. So I want more of them.
Well, you guys heard it here. If you guys get your hands on them, send them our way. Send them our way. But yeah, man. So here we are. We're 2 hours. This feels like a good stopping point.
I watched this last night.
What? Oh yeah, what'd you think?
It was what it was.
It feels like a very PG-13 slasher. It's technically
it felt like a Shudder original it felt like a movie that was made in 2012. I'm a massive Will Sasso fan, so just seeing him in it made me smile. I love him. So that was fun seeing him, but it was what it was. I had read the book. I audiobooked it. So I know a lot of people
Sydney likes the books.
Oh, she loves it. She bought all of them. She's got the hardbacks.
What'd you think of the movie?
Jealous because the author follows. She's like, wait a minute, the author follows you on Instagram? I was like, does he? And then I looked, and he does. And then I actually saw that he had talked to me in DMs, and she was so jealous, because she loves. City thought it was all right, but the thing is, man, people usually say, oh, the book's better. Well, it should be. There's no budget with a book,
Yeah.
You don't have to budget the words you write.
It's all up here. You can envision all that shit up here. Whenever they put it on screen, it's never as good as how you visioned it.
And she was telling me, she was like, And I was like, City, are they kind of backpedaling on some stuff and leaving some stuff out? And she's like, oh, I think so. So I kind of wonder, because there's something that happens in the first one that I feel like they're hinting at it, but they're kind of changing the dynamics of it. I don't want to get into it because, but maybe if they do a sequel, they'll get into that. But we'll see if they do another. I tell people, like, there's a $40 steelbook. This was $15, and this is a perfectly fine Blu-ray. You don't need this on 4K. Get the Blu-ray, you'll be happy with it. I think it's worth owning. It's a fine little film. Nothing more than what it is. It's called Clown in a Cornfield. Sometimes I really feel you guys need to calibrate yourself. Say the title of the movie out loud. Right. And then realize what you're about to watch, and don't go in there and say, oh, there's no character development. Like, put the brakes on, people. Like, say the name of the movie again, and then use the words pacing, character development, and the writing. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's my big thing, man. That's where I feel like I'm on an island with the internet. People will say, so guys, let's review Dude Bro Massacre 3. I just thought that
that sounds fucking awesome.
The writing was just not there on this, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, with Clown in a Cornfield, I think in my review, I think my big complaints were just like, it felt very PG-13. I don't think they leaned hard into the R. No, it's R.
Oh, it was R. It was R.
Yeah, but I just don't think they leaned
PG-13.
Yeah, I don't think they leaned hard enough into it. I didn't think some of the acting was all that good. Like, there's some performances I was just not sold on. It just felt like a very like light beer version of a slasher movie, So it was fine. I think I gave it 3.5. I was like, it's fine, like whatever. It is what it is. Like, yeah, it's Clown in a Cornfield, guys. Like,
I just feel like on the internet, like, it's so hard for people to be like, it was it was what it was. It's either I hated it or it was good.
Or it's the greatest movie ever. Yeah.
I swear. All right, let's go. I'm ready to wrap
let's
it up
go.
too.
It's 2 hours. Yeah, Christian, come on.
All right, so my repeater, did I freeze or anything tonight? Was I good?
No, you were
good. My repeater works, ladies and gentlemen. I get a repeater, a Wi-Fi repeater.
Christian's Peter works. So hopefully we'll try to circle back and do a live here in like 2 weeks or so before we do October's episode. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching for another 2 hours with us. We know it's been a little bit. We didn't go anywhere. Well, I mean, we did, but not permanently. Yeah, as I always do, Christian, you got anything to sign off with before we say goodbye to all these hoodlums?
Thank you all for watching.
There you have it. So I have no idea what this is going to be titled. I'm going to leave that to Christian because I'm going to ask him to make a thumbnail because we talked about everything under the fucking sun. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching. And until next time, let it all hang out. I don't fucking know.